Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 323-405-1341. That's 323-405-1341. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support, the latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal buyer's protection guarantee.
www.hoodg.com. Okay, we got the Godcast crew necks, hoodies, hats. If you don't know where to go to get them, www.hoodg.com. Go get you that Godcast gear, that brand Nubian gear. We got Rod Digger gear, all of that. Go to www.hoodg.com. www.hoodg.com.
Let's get into the intricacies of coaches running plays that don't work.
Speak on it. You were talking about that.
You know,
and knowing they don't work.
Yeah, knowing that they don't work, and creating these situations because there's something else going on, either with fantasy football or whatever, you know,
right,
where everyone gets to play. The officials, the coaches, everybody gets to play fantasy football. So you get to, you think about it, who gets to dictate how the game goes so the gambling sport works, you know? You know, and these are all the things you got to sit down and think about. Can I actually prove it? No, I can't. But to something, there's a connection there. There's a strong connection there when one player is doing very well one year, and when it comes to the next year, people are picking their fantasy football team based on who did well last year. So when they actually looking to see the season go this year, the players that they actually pick are not even getting the run time. They're not even getting the playing time to even support the whole fantasy game. So the game goes haywire for those who are playing the fantasy football because they banking on the players that did well last year. That's not getting any play this year. So you got to ask yourself. And then there's another thing. Why is football the only sport that the coach is wearing a headset? Who's coaching the coach? I don't see that in any other sport.
Right. And I was saying it could be anybody. You know, these rich little fuckers, like they could have a fucking 10-year-old son running plays secretly for all we know. Here, you want to run some plays today? Yeah, I mean, Daddy. You know what I mean? Like,
my son actually got a text saying, "Hey, it's not about winning games. This is the entertainment business."
This is from Les Snead.
And that's from Les Snead, the GM.
You know, and this was when Gurley got drafted. Like, we knew, like, because we were so close in connection with Trey's movements in his career, I knew something was happening then. You know, they promised them what they're going to do for the season, right? And then they'll get out there and we don't know the plays. They know the plays. And Trey called me one day and he was like, "Mom, I can't do this anymore. They open up the field when it comes to Gurley. They put me on a blitz when it comes time for me and I got to make something happen." And we all know this play isn't going to work. You know, things like that, things the fans don't really see. You think you know the game, but open up a football playbook and see how many plays they run and see how many options they actually have.
And if Trey was to say that, then they'll make it seem like he got an issue with Gurley.
Right. And we never did. We have a wonderful relationship with Gurley, and so did they. So that wasn't the issue as well.
Even Gurley on the flip side was like, "Yo, they burning me out. They trying to burn me out. Why they playing me so hard?"
He himself wasn't well at times in games, but you got a job to do. So that's That's the job.
So here's the deal: 3 years, you get to be tenure in the NFL. They'll burn them out in 2.
So
So
they
you
don't have to pay.
Right.
Boom.
So you don't get that help. Remember the criteria that I said that you have to fall within to get that kind of help. Right? So they push you aside. And they'll do it by any means necessary and make the fans think and make, that, oh, well, he just wasn't making the cut. He just couldn't hack it, or they'll trade you. Don't have to pay you. That's the other
Now my son
organization.
even walked in and asked to be traded, and they denied
told
him.
him no. So
You said they might not trade people sometimes just so they don't have to play against them. They do dirty shit like that, huh?
Yep. They do stuff.
They'll
like
hold
that.
on to them.
Yep.
Like, you know what? Nah, fuck it. I'd rather not play against them.
We'll hold you and bench you.
We're not gonna play you. Yeah, we'll hold you and bench you.
Yeah.
Because if you do get on another team, you might bust our ass.
Exactly.
In revenge.
Well, do you think that now, because we're seeing so much focus on mental health and just recently with Simone Biles and the Olympics, like, some people tried to give her hell, but a lot of people, did realize, like, hey, when these players are experiencing mental trauma, we got to listen. She just straight walked off the floor. Like, look, my mind is not connecting with my body midair. I could land and break my neck. Like, I can't do this. So I think
how many times some one of us have not felt well and we got to cancel the show.
Right.
You feel me?
You're right. And a lot of times, and a lot of times we won't,
That's what I'm saying. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
We
been
won't.
Times, bro.
We need that. You
get
need
on
that back end,
bro.
I remember being on there sick because of the repercussions.
I remember being fucked up with sciatica. And still fucking got out on that goddamn stage. Like you gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes
I've had to do shows with laryngitis. Like, I've had to get the shot right before I took the stage to get my voice back. I've had to perform with like a flu where like I literally walk off the stage and just like earl my guts up. But the people, we're trained that the show must go on, like, no matter what. So
right.
Same concept. Yep.
It's a conditioning that we have. And I'm hoping now that we're seeing so many of these athletes say, listen, I'm not feeling mentally equipped for this, that maybe they'll start taking some grace when it comes to, especially these rougher contact sports. Hopefully.
Well, I'm hoping that they even feel brave enough to say they're not mentally fit, because it seemed like there's a taboo.
Right.
It's like they're afraid to say it because they might lose something.
And speaking on that, of being afraid, you can tell the pressures when ex-football players.
That was the lead in. Tell us about Michael Strahan.
Well, with all due respect,
I know you're not trying to shit on him or whatever.
Nah, not at all. And I want the audience to know that. But this is something that actually happened.
Yeah, let's keep it real.
We at Q-Tip's crib, we at Q-Tip's crib kicking it, and he wanting to know what's up and wanting to help, and like, damn, family, like, what? I'm trying to think of what I could do to help. He was like, let me reach out to Michael Strahan. He had a conversation with Mike, had a light conversation with us, exchanged numbers, called him, but all of a sudden got no call back. Got no call back. And I don't know why. And it's like, not going to keep calling,
Right.
We know what we talking about here. You've been prepped,
Right. And now you ghosting me. Now you stonewalling me. What's going on, bro?
And we got ghosts. So, and not to, I just wonder, like, is it forbidden?
Yeah, we still don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I can see his progress, and I'm happy for the brother. You know what I mean? It just shows us, though, that the pressures that must be put on this, you know,
This
concussion
topic.
issue, the mental issues with the league stem outside of the current player and the, you know what I mean? It stems outside of that. It stems even to those who actually have a voice, these ex-players, these Hall of Famers that will not say anything because this is to me, it's a cult because I'm like, this is
Nah, I
absolutely
hear you.
crazy. This is absolutely crazy. You mean to tell me after all these years of these ex-ball players playing, you still got a hold on their careers? You still, by what they say, what they admit to, half of them are dealing with it as well. And later on, you find out.
Now, remember what I told you about Tony Dorsett when I
Right.
saw him at the Heisman?
Right.
Right.
Yes. And first of all, Tony Dorsett used to be my fucking hero when I was a child. Like I wanted to be Tony Dorsett so fucking bad. But
Straight
go
up.
ahead and tell us about Tony Dorsett and also speak to the fact of how you said a lot of these people are able to talk football like scientists, but then when it comes to everything else, they're fucked up. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. Like, for some reason, like when we met Tony Dorsett, it was like you said, meeting one of our heroes. But I saw him looking off, man. Looked off. He had like this plastic bag in his hand. Like, it was kind of way he was looking was a bit inappropriate for the event we was at. And he had this like,
and this is the Heisman.
And this is the Heisman. He had like a Pathmark plastic bag with just shit in it. Whatever it fucking was. It was just shit in there. And I'm like, whoa.
Thank you for shopping with us.
You know, and what made me really bring him up, because I saw somebody in the DM just yesterday saying, yo, you might want to reach out to Tony Dorsett. He might be able to help. I was like, wow. You know?
Right. You know that?
I was like, wow. I was like, how come the rest of the world don't know about this great American player, Tony Dorsett, and his issue? You know?
Right.
He's a legend. You know, we should be knowing these type of things.
Absolutely.
And you don't. It's like to the side. Or
yeah.
Somebody.
It got to take for something like this
something
to happen, for us to speak out on this level, seeking for help, for them people to blurt out in DMs. Yo, you might want to reach out here. Sorry for the family. Sorry for this. But here's a little tip here. Here's a tip there. And I met this man, and I'm like, yo, he is off completely.
Wow.
Well, pupils dilated and all.
One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. There is definitely a difference that in media coverage that the black players get versus white players. I've even seen a lot of people lately talk about Stephen A. Smith, how he regards certain players versus others. Like he had all the smoke for Kyrie, but we didn't see that same energy with Aaron Rodgers. I thought, what's the brother that's always talking about he gonna sprinkle his mama's cooking and stuff like
he Kwame Brown.
Yeah, he dug in his ass about this very thing. So there's definitely a fraternity, if you will, happening as far as like the type of coverage these things get, and they'll portray it as the niggas nigging before actually addressing it as like, yo, this is a serious problem that we are in fact responsible for. So it's
this is majority of the commentators who never played the sport ever. They're just commentators. And they really need to shut the fuck up. Honestly, they just need to shut up. Stephen A, at some point, he either need to shut up or really dig deeper and show empathy. And for somebody who's been in the business as long as he should know better. I think dudes be dancing for the money.
Oh yeah, they're taking their cues from the higher ups.
You can only see it by how they moving, and where we come from, the vibe just tell you that. Can I really put my finger on it? No, but at some point you'd be like, dude, you need to shut up. Just shut up, man. Because you have no idea what these players and families are going through. Shut up, man.